Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. First things first, please check out my other channel, Romie Whispers ASMR. Like I said, it's my ASMR channel. I would appreciate some love and support over there. We just passed over 100 subscribers. Secondly, I want to make sure that my videos are more structured. So I'm trying to do them at home instead of in the car. Now, I will be going back into the car as soon as next week, but I'll make sure I actually do notes and stuff. I personally been trying to avoid that, but I want to make sure it's the best that they can possibly can be. So Nova. We finally hear her explanation, and it's exactly what I thought it would be, and my reaction is exactly how I thought it would be. So we're not good. We're not good. We're not okay. And this is Queen Sugar Season 4, Episode 3, Where My Body Stops or Begins. It starts off with Aunt Vi, who is pissed. She's just asking Hollywood why. Like, why would she do that to me? Why would she put my business out in the streets for people to go and criticize me or just to know it the worst time in her life? And Nova just put it out there as if it was her story to tell. So now she goes to work. She's trying to do business as usual. And guess who's the first person who comes in her restaurant? Jimmy Dale. He's back. And she was cleaning the table, but she heard that voice and the cadence, and she fainted. She fainted in his arms, and he was holding her. And so Hollywood didn't know that it was Jimmy Dale. So when she came to, Jimmy Dale snuck out the front like the snake in the grass he is, while Aunt Vi said she just wants to go home. She realized what happened, but she didn't want to make a fuss at her place of business. He was not going to ruin that for her. Micah is reading Blood and Blessings, which is the name of the book. And all you see is Charlie, because Charlie realizes that Micah is reading the book, and Charlie tries to like, oh, okay, la. And so Micah is doing what Charlie was afraid he would do, judge her. Because Micah said, look, I know my dad ain't ish sometimes. I know that. And so I was able to accept that and get over that because I know that. But your part in this, paying millions off to that woman who said da. And Charlie was trying to explain herself. She was like, look, the stuff that had to go on with the mill, the stuff that da. I'm trying to protect this family, and I'm trying to do it in a way that no one else seems to understand or get. And like I said, Micah essentially was just kind of saying to his mom that he thought that she'd be better than that. And it hurt because I know some people don't like the way how Charlie does things, but hello, like I said, we are in troubling times down there. She was the first one to get a leg up on these Landry people because she knows how to go after people with power. No one else does. They don't get it. And so the last person Charlie needs is her son to start judging her. While she's dealing with that, she has Nova, who is getting news that her book has received glowing reviews from the New York Times, and how she was just so surprised by it. And I'm thinking, that's cute. That's great. That's wonderful. Beautiful gowns. But at the end of the day, you need to get yourself together, because you went and told everyone's business out there. Look out, Angel. He's at his farm. He's talking to Prosper, and he feels a certain way because now he's like, Blue, gonna have to talk to Blue. Blue's gonna have to find out sooner, or just find out, period, that I'm not his biological father. And Prosper said his father, his daddy who raised him, was not his biological father, but he will have never known because his daddy treated him so well. And he found out in high school, but at that point, he didn't care. It was like, okay, that's a fun fact. What's next? So we're still playing ball, right? And that was Proctor's way of just saying, hey, I turned out fine. I turned out a decent person. Blue can too, but Prosper doesn't realize how bad things are. And one of Ralph Angel's workers comes and is like, wait, come here, just hurry. And one of his workers got sick. At first I thought he got into like a big accident, but I guess he got sick and maybe he fainted or something. But now we see Nova. She's off, and it's Blessings and Blood. That's what her book is called, not Blood and Blessing. I was just seeing blood, seeing red. She's kind of like counseling this family where the daughter is saying that her experience, I guess, with her sister was the same with how Nova's experience with Charlie was, and how she was asking Nova, how were you able to move forward with Charlie? So Nova said she had to actually take a look inward into herself and see what it is that she, I guess, could be doing versus just judging the person that Charlie is. And again, we get that this book will help, but we can't act like, oh, that just justifies everyone going through the ringer because Nova put their stuff out there. Charlie's trying to call and see why is it that the other Landry guy, how he's able to go and be in meetings even though he has the same amount of shares as Charlie. I said family privilege. I knew it as soon as I heard it was another family member. I said, oh, that's family privilege. On Vi, she's throwing up in the toilet because she has to tell Hollywood. She's so distraught that she can't even hide it. That she said, Jimmy Dale, that was the guy in the yellow shirt with the white beard with the hat who came in. That was him. And she was like, I don't know why he's here. I don't know if it's because of the book or not. But and so then my mind started to race. I said, oh, Lord, are they divorced for real? Like, are they divorced on paper? Because I feel like this won't be the last time we see Jimmy Dale. I feel like this is just more so the beginning. And my mind started to race. I said, oh no. So Hollywood said, I'm going to handle it. So he makes a call. I said, ooh. But it was a call back down to Aunt Vi's Pies, Diner and Pies. And, he put out the warning like, hey, if that dude comes back in, let me know. Thanks. Charlie's talking to Ralph Angel, and I'm kind of glad that their relationship has stabilized, because I remember when their relationship wasn't good, because I guess he felt a certain way about her not doing more to help him, or at least that was his point of view when he was in jail. So I'm glad that they're talking. So this kind of brought them together, even though they were good last season too. His worker is sick, and remember, her boyfriend, he's a nurse, and so maybe she can help. Then we have Lil Killmonger himself trying to get his girl back, Kiki, at school, because she's trying to ignore him. She's trying to ignore him since he wanted to go all, like I said, Killmonger, and he's saying, I'm sorry. She said, yeah, you have to chill because she's with Micah West, not whoever it is you're trying to become just because for whatever reason, because of circumstances and whatnot. No. That's not what she signed up for. And she's not a ride or die. She's not dying for you. And I respect it. She didn't say that, but that's how I took it. So he said, I'm not going to disrespect you. I said, you mean again? Charlie now, she goes down to Landry Enterprises, and she sees good old boy over there. And I said, excuse me, sir, because there's this other guy there. I said, you can leave. Thank you. And Charlie, she is reaming him out, because that's when she finds out, because the guy essentially has family privilege. That's why he's able to attend the meetings. And so she's about to say, oh, so I thought that we were actually on the same side and you were halfway deep. She gets a text, and it's from him, And it's saying, we can't talk in here. We're being watched. So then she was like, meet me out back. I said, okay, you think that's much better? All right. So he's trying to go and give her this sob story about how there's so many things going on and how she was able to initially get the jail stopped, but that didn't really stop much of anything. That just altered their course of action. And she's trying to say how she needs to understand that he is on her side, and how she just needs to play ball and back off a little bit because she'll be making good dividends, and she just needs to focus on that right now while he goes and figures a couple of things out. And I'm so glad Charlie told him, hey, dude, I don't know who you think I am, but know this. I don't just sit back and let someone else save me. That's not happening because you... and he was saying how he grew up in a family where you basically had to tear each other apart, and that was awarded. And even though I said, yeah, that does suck, I'm glad that Charlie said, that's messed up. And yes, I did have a family unit, but you're still making excuses for yourself. And I'm not going to let you go and skate by and do that. And I said, you know what? Yeah, you're right, Charlie. Hollywood put out that call to action, and it delivered. Guess who was back at the High Yellow? Jimmy. So Hollywood came back there and said, look. And Jimmy said, because Jimmy was trying to pretend like, how's Vi? She doing what? No, I know who you are, and you need to go because I'm the new man in her life, and you're not going to go and do anything. You're going. You're going. Because you thought what Ernest did to you was bad. Trust. That was nothing. I said, that's right. That's right. So apparently he goes back to Vi, tells her it's over. He followed Jimmy, who actually got out of town, because I'm thinking, yeah, but he can circle back. Jimmy is not stupid. He can circle back. While all of that's happening, Ralph Angel had his date. I said, oh, this is cute. And at one point during the conversation, they acknowledged that, because he was talking about his farm and his work and how he wanted to make sure he put her as a priority, even though it's harvest time. And she appreciated that. I said, oh, this is nice. This is so nice. At one point, she put out there that, hey, Playboy, I went and checked your background because I can't be having just anyone around my kid. And he said, I respect that, because he went and told her that, hey, he has a past. He's been in jail. He's done a couple of things. And she said she saw his file, but her job is literally to see people not as their file. I said, oh my God. Ralph Angel, don't let your family life screw this up. She's good. She's a good woman. I said, oh, whew. Anyway, Charlie is dealing with a lot, but her man put out a little picnic for her, and thank God Charlie has someone who's nice and consistent in her life right now, and she does deserve it. She does. He apparently works by the border or something, and he was saying how the conditions are crazy. He did help out Ralph Angel's guy, and he said he really respects Ralph Angel for taking care of his guys because, he hears stories. Like, for example, the 2 workers that died during the storm a year or 2 back. I said, ooh. And Charlie had that guilty look in her face because, if you don't remember, they were working during crazy time because they're trying to get the farm up and running. And so guilt kind of made her think about things. And she said, why don't I go and set up something in the back of the mill, and you can have your volunteers go and help out people there. And I said, that's great, Charlie. But here's the thing. Charlie doesn't own the mill. So part of me felt like, the Landrys are going to find out about that, and that's going to become an issue. I hope it isn't, but my mind immediately jumped to that. Aunt Vi's going down memory lane from an earlier time in her life. And I said, look at her. Look at her. But then we also see that ID bracelet from the hospital. And I believe it is hers because because her name was Violet Dale. her last name. So she was reminiscing about when she was, had to go to the hospital because he beat her up so bad. And I felt so bad for her. Now, Micah brings Kiki home. And I said, ooh, does your mom know about that? I know Kiki's a good girl, but still. He's reading something, and apparently he got a death threat. And so he gives it to his mom, but Charlie didn't seem too fazed by it. I said, oh, this isn't the first time. This can't be. Because she said, you know what, I'll handle it. I'm thinking, huh? So then Michael's like, oh, whatever. Cold as usual. Charlie said, no, come back here. And takes out all of the death threats he got. She said after the police stuff happened, started to get death threats. Rowley's death threats. So I sent you to Paris. I hired a private detail to make sure that you were taken care of. And you didn't even know, because my job is to be your parent, to make sure I have your back, you're 6, you're 12, you're 10, you're 2 at all times. So if I have to do whatever it takes to make sure that happens, and you may not just understand that, I'm okay with that, because as long as my job is done, I am fine. I said, oh. And Micah finally got it, because Micah said, seeing that stuff makes him angry. And she said, seeing these death threats terrify me. It makes me scared. See, that's why we are different, but it's okay. I said, wow, this show is good. This show is good. And then Ralph Angel with Darla. So Ralph Angel takes Blue home. He came back a little bit later. Wanted to get some ice cream. Only 2 scoops, Mom. Only 2 scoops. Ralph Angel has to tell Darla, hey, Nova wrote about Blue in the book. She was like, okay. He said, no, about me not being his biological father. I said, shh. Blue has good hearing. Shh. So, of course, Darla's pissed because she's afraid about, oh, no, what's that going to have on Blue, the effect they'll have on Blue. And plus, didn't want to go and put business out there now, just when things are stabilizing. But they're going to talk to Blue together. Speaking of talking, guess who shows up to the house? Jimmy Dale shows up to the house, and Vi invites him in because I feel like she was so scared, but also maybe it was to prove to herself that she's not the same person anymore. So he comes in and he's kind of walking like it's his house, and he's disrespecting Hollywood, saying, oh, a man wouldn't call himself Hollywood. That's the boy's name. In comes Nova. I said, the one good time I'm happy you showed up. And then we have to hear from her. Jimmy Dale's like, oh, it's good speaking to you again, Nova. I said, again? Oh, hell no. What the? This woman. Vi also had that look of, I'm about to fight you, Nova. I will fight you right now. And him. Period. So Jimmy Dale, he doesn't hit Vi, but he puts his hands on her because he got too comfortable. So Nova was like, get off of her. And so they start pushing him out of the house. He doesn't attack them. So I guess he grew a little bit. Hollywood comes rushing through, starts beating up Jimmy Dale. And I said, oh no, if Jimmy Dale tries to sue, if Jimmy Dale and Aunt Vi are actually still married on paper, it's going to be hell. Oh, I hope it's a real divorce that they got. I hope that he also doesn't try and press charges. And so then Jimmy Dale, after he gets beat up, he says, oh, and I'm not sorry about anything that happened in the past. You still low down, you still tromping, you still a hoe. And when I tell you Hollywood was ready, he didn't blink a minute. And Vi was using all the strength in her body to keep him at bay. And so then Nova, back in the house, Nova has to tell Aunt Vi the truth that she did go and talk to Jimmy Dale because she wanted to get both sides of the story. Because if she's writing a book, she wanted both sides. I'm thinking, so does that mean Nova talked to Davis? So does that mean Nova talked to the Landrys? So does that mean that I was just getting more upset. But then she said, I realized that he was not someone deserving of grace and forgiveness because he did not grow. And I said, oh, wow, congratulations. So then Noah was kicked out. Aunt Vi said, you've done some stuff, girl, but this is the worst. And listen to me right now. Your father and mother would be disappointed in you and your actions. I need for you to get out of my house, because the way how I'm feeling right now, today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, will not be enough time for me to even consider forgiving you or having you in my space, and definitely in my place ever again. And so Nova was crying, and she cried her way home. As she should. That's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. I said that's right. And Hollywood did what he was supposed to do. Say nothing and support from next to her. So I'm fine. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Remember, my reviews for recaps for Grownish, as well as Basketball Wives, is actually doing something this season. So yeah, I'll keep doing that. I have to figure out how to get those views up though. But that's my job. And check out my other channel, Romie Whispers ASMR. Oh yes, and I forgot that Charlie found out that she was looking at the notes from the meetings and found out that, wait a minute, they spent $1.5 million on a plot of land. And so she sent that information off to her to her investigator person, and there's going to be some mess with that. So we'll see.